Um, real YouTubers make reaction video. This is probably gonna be a good reaction video because the match that we're watching is really good. Oh man, I am here. Hello, it's your boy, Goose Ma. Anyway, today, okay, so here's the deal. Sorry, I'm a little disorganized today in my thinking. However, that's fine. We're gonna get there eventually anyway. So, the match that we are about to watch is one of maybe not the most famous matches in all of VGC history. Like, I don't think it's that well known. However, it's one of the best ones in my opinion. It's very, very, very interesting, and I think you'll see why. There's a lot of really cool elements about the match, and I was thinking about it, and I wasn't sure how much more reacting to VGC matches I wanted to do, but I remembered that I hadn't really showcased this one yet, and I thought that was kind of criminal. So we're gonna react to it and watch it together now. And if you've already seen it, I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm excited. Like I saw it live. I think I was here. Yeah, yeah. I think I watched this one live. However, I haven't watched in many whiles. So, yeah. So I don't remember all the details. I just know the important parts. However, okay. So here's the context. It doesn't. I don't know which round this is. The video actually jumps into the game in the middle of a round. I think what happened was they would have in Pokemon tournaments they have like a main stream and then like a side stream. And once if the main stream finishes early, then they'll like jump to the side stream. And so that's what happens here. We go into the set, and I think in the middle of game 2 or the beginning of game 2. Yeah. What you need to know about this match, let's talk about the players. So this match is between Giovanni Costa and Tobias Koshitsky. These two guys are two friends of mine. They're honestly like S tier people. Honestly they both fall into the category where like I don't talk to them as often as I probably would like to. But they're honestly just like so nice. So Tobias, I've stayed with him multiple times over the years. He's from Germany. He's like the nicest guy. I think he recently got into some kind of physical, like, rock climbing almost thing, activity. Him and my friend Till were talking about it when we were in Berlin together. I forget exactly what it's called. Scaling? Is that a thing? Bouldering? Bouldering. I think it's bouldering. Yeah, he's a very good player. He was doing he traveled to Australia with me. I think it was, yeah, to Australia with me and some other friends in 2017. I don't think he like does as much world tour stuff anymore. I don't know if he's gone to Australia since then, but he's a very, very good player, super nice guy, all around, like, yeah, just overall great guy and very, very good player as well, who 2017 was like, I want to say one of his stronger seasons. I'm not actually sure if it's true, because I feel like all of his seasons are strong. I know he started in 2016, or I think he did well in 2016, and he actually won a regional in 2020 as well. So it's not like he's disappeared. I think he just doesn't travel as much anymore. So yeah, very good player. Obviously still around, still doing well, like winning a regional. He won the regional with Butterfree, Hatterini, like Torkoal stuff. So if you've seen it was just like a more or less standard Butterfree like Trick Room team, but he played it really well. I think it was Malmo, but it might have been Stuttgart. I don't remember. Anyway, so that's Toby. His opponent, Gio, also an incredibly nice guy. Gio, he is somewhere in like the California area. I'm not going to say where. But there was a point where I was coming home from Australia, and I was flying to Australia to get to like just go because I traveled to Australia for a month after I graduated college. And Gio like housed me and was like super nice. Like I don't know, like he like was super hospitable, like really, really great host. On my way back, like from Australia, I was like, Gio, I like am exhausted. Can I like stay at your place? Like I intended to like see friends and stuff, but I was like so tired. I was like, can I just sleep at your place? Like you can just leave a key or something, or tell the front desk, and like I'll figure it out. And he was late for work because he like stayed behind to make sure that I got there. So he's like overall a stand-up guy. Yeah, like, and his like kind of claim to fame in 2017 was that he used Eevee. He like was determined to use Eevee throughout the whole season, and I think he did relatively well with it. He also made content that was very, very high quality. His background is in video editing, or maybe not in video editing, but in some kind of that like general realm. And so he has some really, really, really cool videos on his channel. I don't think he's super active anymore, but yeah, he also did some really cool interview content with VGC players, kind of trying like preserving the history and stuff. So I don't know. Basically, what I'm trying to say is these two guys are both very good competitors and also very good people. So it's kind of, and they're both my friends as well. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting dynamic here. So anyway, with all that being said, 5-minute intro. Actually, I thought that was longer. But let's go ahead and get started. Like I said,
Tapu Bulu. I think it's time we hop over to our second game here.
it just like it jumps into the middle of game 2, as you can see, and they're both 2-0. I don't know if this is day 1 or day 2. I think it's day. The records imply day 1. I would have guessed day 2, but it might be day 1.
Tapu Bulu and Nihilego out on Tobias Kozinski's side of the field, and Giovanni Costa. That's not an Eevee. Instead, Whimsicott and Tapu Fini out on his side of the field.
Yeah, so seeing as we already see some damage on Tapu Bulu and Nihilego.
The commentators, by the way, are Gabby. Gabby makes VGC content. If you like what you hear, you can check her out. I think her Twitch is simply Gabby. Yeah. And the other commentator is, unless my ears deceive me, Ray Rizzo, the, in my opinion, greatest VGC player of all time.
I'm curious if Tapu Fini has a boost, but it appears not because it just switched out, so it probably hasn't been baton passed.
Sorry, so the way this, I know we're jumping into the middle, so it's a little confusing, so I'll explain a little bit. Basically, the way that that Geo's team worked is you would use Extreme Evo Boost with Eevee, which gives you +2 in every stat. And then either you Psych Up or Baton Pass to pass those to certain Pokemon. Tapu Fini on this team was typically a Psych Up user, or like you basically wanted to get the boost on it. It normally ran Psych Up. The reason I think Tapu Fini was used because it was bulky, and the Misty Terrain helped against like sleep and stuff like that would otherwise be problematic.
Anything.
And a Dragonite on Geo's side of the field as well. Those are some.
And sorry, Dragonite was not used at all. Like it was not used.
Oh, and a Smeargle on Tobias' side of the field. This is like the exact opposite of the last game where all the trainers had the same 6 Pokemon. These are all Pokemon. Well, I mean, maybe the Nihilego, but you just do not see Pokemon like Whimsicott that often. And unfortunately, we might not see Whimsicott again. Game 3, maybe. This is game 2 of the series.
That's really funny, Gabby.
Won game 1, and Nihilego getting a speed
That's
boost.
very interesting because usually you do not see that, so that is very interesting from Tobias.
Yeah,
that's true. Normally Nihilego gets special attack boost, but you have to drop some special attack in order to get the speed boost.
Really interesting teams
Not much,
here
but like a
at
decent
play. I don't even know what to expect. I mean, unfortunately, we did not see game 1, so we're a little bit in the dark, but that just makes it all that much more exciting.
So I'm 90% certain that the Smeargle is Choice Scarf as well, by the way. And this might be the team that Marcus used as well with Z Conversion Porygon Z, but I'm not positive because it was this tournament as well.
And Giovanni sending that Tapu Fini out on the field to get rid of the grassy terrain, restoring the mist to the battlefield and possibly protecting Giovanni's.
Sorry, so I don't want to talk too much over this just because we jumped into the middle of game 2, I'm not as confident. Like basically the set is about game 3, but we'll watch game 2 for context. But yeah, like I don't want to talk too much because like I don't know what's already been revealed and stuff, and it's weird jumping into the middle of a set. So let's just watch this together, and then we'll talk about game 3.
Tapu Fini, at least, from the threat of like a spore from that Smeargle.
Yeah, and we still haven't seen Eevee. That is Geo's. That is the Pokemon he's known for, and apparently it hasn't baton passed any boost to anything because Tapu Fini was switching out.
It looks so slow. Gen 7 looks so slow.
It'll be interesting to see what Geo's last Pokemon is.
Wow. Sludge Bomb from that Nihilego, dealing a ton of damage to Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini barely able to hang
Also, I know there's some delay.
But eats that
like
berry
in the sound is happening for me
uses
too.
Wiki Berry to restore its health and fires back a Moonblast, targeting down the Smeargle. Smeargle not knocked out by it. Uses Spore to.
That's really funny. Oops. What did I just do?
Attack with the Misty Terrain. Sleep because Smeargle not knocked out.
I think it's really funny because Nihil like Geo set Tailwind, and so he's like, okay, yes, I got Tailwind up. And so, but then like Nihilego outsped Tapu Fini, and then Smeargle outsped Dragonite even with the Tailwind. So it's obviously slower than both those Pokemon.
It uses Spore to put that Dragonite
and that confirms
to
it's
sleep
Scarf
because
Smeargle.
it is a flying type Pokemon. Does not make contact with the Misty Terrain, and just thinks, all right, it's nap time. Sorry, Geo, I'm out.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for Geo to win this matchup now. Nihilego is outspeeding everything. It's going to KO Tapu Fini with another Sludge Bomb. Dragonite's asleep, and so it's just sitting there not really doing too much. And we don't yet know Geo's last Pokemon. Maybe it's something more offensive, like Tapu Koko, but we really don't know. But I do want to talk about that speed boost that Nihilego got because
Yeah, he's right. The speed boost is like it changes the whole dynamic because if Tapu Fini was moving first here, it could like maybe go for Muddy Water and get both KOs. But since it can't attack without going down,
barely see that. And we actually saw it didn't really pay dividends right there with Tapu Fini hanging on with just 6 hit points. So maybe he did want the special attack boost there, but The speed boost, very interesting, lets you outspeed the likes of Tapu Koko, and that's, I'm sure, why Tobias is going for that.
Well, Tapu Bulu back out on the field, getting rid of that misty terrain, possibly allowing that Smeargle to come back in and put some more Pokemon to sleep. Tapu Fini won't be around for that, gets knocked out by the Sludge Bomb on that Nihilego, and Nihilego gets its second speed beast boost
This is
that we've
looking
seen.
over.
At least
Unless
in this
Dragonite
game,
wakes
takes
up here.
a little bit of damage thanks to that Life Orb hold item. Dragonite still fast asleep.
And now we get to see what Geo's last Pokemon is. If it is the likes of Tapu Koko, this Nihilego getting speed boost as a speed boost will end up really paying dividends, because that is, I'm thinking, like the main reason
This is funny because there's so much passive stuff between turns. Like, it feels like it's been a minute in between this
you
turn.
decide to train your Nihilego that way so that it gets a speed boost, because you can one
Talent's still up,
Tapu
so it's
Koko
not
with Sludge
100%
Bomb.
over. Depends what this
Normally
spawn
you're
is.
slower than
Oh,
it.
it's Eevee.
Another,
There
there's
it
the
is.
Eevee.
Geo sending in the Pokemon that he is known best for, Eevee taking the field. Not going to be able to baton pass anything given that he only has 2 Pokemon left, but, you know, maybe giving him the morale boost he needs to go into Game 3.
Yeah,
really
maybe
funny.
Eevee can still pull this through if you believe enough in it. Maybe Quick Attack will be able to finish off this Nihilego.
Well, it's going to be
And it
close,
is.
and it gets the
Let's go, Eevee.
knockout. Eevee proving that it can.
Oh, Fire
and
Punch.
Dragonite waking up as well, going for a Fire Punch into
Maybe
that
a burn?
Tapu Bulu. Will it burn? Does not burn. Tapu Bulu uses Bulk Up to boost its attack and defense by 1 stage. Good job, Eevee. You did your job that turn. I think with that Quick Attack knocking out that Nihilego.
I thought Nihilego was going to survive for the record. I 100% didn't think Quick Attack was going to KO. That's super funny.
Nihilego not really too known for having very high physical defense, so a Pokemon like Eevee, even using an attack like Quick Attack, not very high damaging.
No.
Still able to pick up the knockout there, so Nihilego just, its defense is just really, really low, and Eevee able to capitalize on that. It was great to see, even if this match is going to be really tough for Geo to win at this point, because we saw Fire Punch just not do enough damage to Tapu Bulu,
Yeah,
and
Blue's even
Tapu
bulkier now.
Bulu, we saw it just boost its own stats, so now it's going to be even tougher to take down for Geo. So
Yeah, if
Alright,
Tapu
Hariyama.
Bulu has a move that can hit that Dragonite
This is definitely Marcus' team.
for
Or
a
that
decent
team.
amount of damage, maybe that Hariyama has something that can help deal damage to that Dragonite. I know sometimes they're known to run moves like Rock Slide. Really, I think the ball is in Tobias's
The funny thing actually about this game is that Geo could still win because, like, how does Toby beat Dragonite? Like, he lost his only Dragonite answer.
court, but, you know, Eevee already surprised everybody. Maybe it can keep surprising people here. We
A
don't
big deal
know
also is that
anything
the Z
about
move
this
has already been
Dragonite
used.
yet. Maybe it has a couple tricks up its sleeve beyond that Fire Punch.
yeah, maybe the likes of Dragon Dance to set up, maybe the likes of Roost to stall. There's a number of things it can do. We see
he wants
Faint come
Eevee
out
off.
from Hariyama.
Faint into the Eevee. Now-
Tobias really wants to knock out this Eevee.
yeah, I mean,
Hang on. We're not allowed to show this on screen because... Okay, I skipped it. Because otherwise I'll get copyright
and
claimed.
all of its friends to back, and maybe some other moves that it has brought with it. So much power in that tiny little Eevee. It's going
Wait,
to
hang
do
on.
its
I don't know if you can
best.
see, but... Oh, wait, I'm in the way. Hang on. Toby's praying. Which I think is really funny. Let's go, Toby. Sorry, I know my... I'll fix everything. Hang on. That's fine for now. There you go. Now I can watch everything.
But first, Fire Punch from that Dragonite into the Tapu Bulu. No burn. Tapu Bulu.
I don't know if
using
Eevee
Horn
survives
Leaf
this.
To attack
It does
the
not.
Eevee and get a knockout
Oh.
there. Tapu Bulu going to restore its health as well, and that Hariyama is really. Or actually, excuse me, not the Hariyama. The Dragonite is Geo's last Pokemon out on the field. We might get a Game 3.
This
we
might be
get
the
to
first
see
game.
these teams.
This might be the first
This is
game
day 1.
3, I think, so far. So that'll be
Confirms it.
exciting. And again, yeah, we will get to see both these players' full teams start from the beginning. So that'll be really fun to watch, because it's certainly looking like Tobias is going to take this. And maybe next time we'll actually see Eevee get to put those boosts to use and get a baton pass off to one of Geo's sweeping Pokemon, like this Dragonite, like his Tapu Fini. And Eevee known for really putting players into tough spots,
Interesting
especially
reveal.
on the beginning
Maybe
turn.
he's already
So
shown it.
I'm curious how this second match went down. We didn't end up.
I think he had
seeing-
Dragonite, by the way, because of Cortana. Like, Cortana runs grass and fighting, and those moves don't do anything to Dragonite, and he has Fire Punch as well. I don't think it one-shots Cortana, to be honest, because Dragonite's not very strong, but that would be my guess.
Eevee at the front, evidently
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how Geo adjusts to whatever Tobias has to counteract Eevee.
I don't know. You know, one of the things I find interesting is that in the past when Geo's run a Eevee team, maybe not this variation of it, he's always led with Eevee, gone for the Z move immediately, and then immediately baton passed. But here, I mean, we didn't see
can't do
the
any
beginning
damage.
of this game, so it's hard to say for certain.
I kind of just want to skip ahead.
It almost looked like he led with the Eevee in the back and planned it more of a late game kind of strategy. I don't know. It's interesting. And this Dragonite, we did see it just lose the leftovers to a knockoff. So definitely more of the stalling variety, as you were saying earlier. There's a lot of things on this team that are really interesting.
Yeah, well, when you pass a Pokemon a number of boosts like Eevee is designed to do, having the healing from leftovers for a bulky Pokemon like Dragonite, if it does have something like Roost to heal up again, it's going to be really tough to ever take down a Pokemon that gets that many boosts with that kind of healing. So
a lot.
I have to imagine Geo is anticipating Dragonite being one of the prime receivers from that baton pass from Eevee.
If he crits the Bulu, he might win. If he has Roost.
Not really a common Pokemon we've seen in the 2017 metagame. This actually, I think it's the first one I've ever seen personally. So definitely gets access to that multi-scale ability. So another indication of that bulk that could be.
He might go for a crit here and just figure.
Yeah, I know Geo does.
No, his Roost. Oh no!
Hits when you have those multiple. Boosts
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Defense, so
if he crits the Bulu,
scale to just provide even more defense, you know, that could be a reason for him choosing that.
Yeah, and speaking of defense, that's
Toby's
exactly
laughing.
what we're getting from this turn. Bulk up on that Tapu Bulu, Roost on the Dragonite, another knockoff from that Hariyama.
At least Grassy Terrain is gone, so we don't have to watch that.
Tapu Bulu just getting to the point where it's Horn Leech, even quad resisted, is just going to deal too much combined with knockoff and heal it too much that Geo will have a tough time ever taking it down unless he gets something like a burn or a critical hit with his Fire Punch. That would be one win condition, although let's see what comes in here. Smeargle.
Yeah, Smeargle's back. It has a little bit of health, but could possibly try and put that Dragonite to sleep. If we did see the extreme speed, so it's unlikely. Dragonite using this turn again to Roost and get its health back up to full.
Yep, so this should be a long one, even though it looks like Tobias is in the driver's seat here. He is in complete control.
It's Scarf Smeargle with Fake Out.
Yeah, but props to Geo. You know, he's really playing out his win condition here, and that's what you got to do. Something that is interesting to note, though, is that the round timer is slowly ticking down.
Yeah, I saw that too, actually.
If we go into Game 3 here, that might actually come into play at the end of the round. Fake out from that Smeargle into the Dragonite, giving Tapu Bulu another opportunity to use that bulk up and boost its attack and defense by one stage. I don't think we've seen a round come to time yet on stream. Again, we still have a lot of time here, so it's not something that we have to be worried about yet. But given the length of this game, too, both these trainers are probably going
Guys, I promise it'll be worth it. I promise. I promise. If I ever let you down, just trust me. It's going to be worth it.
Using similar strategies in Game 3 might come up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Smeargle switch back out here. Nope. Tobias does decide to just sacrifice it. Well, no, Geo going for the burn or critical hit.
It's not a critical hit. It's not a burn. Leech Seed from that Tapu Bulu.
It does nothing.
The Dragonite. That the Smeargle used a second.
Toby's laughing too.
Do you think that's an indication of an item, or just Tobias not worried about anything at this point?
Yeah, I guess it would have to be Choice Scarf unless it was a misclick, because you would want to go for a Spore there onto Dragonite. But maybe it is holding something like a choice.
Both Toby and Geo are very emotive, but in different ways. I feel like Toby mostly emotes in negative ways, whereas Geo mostly emotes in positive ones. So, yeah, like you can see here, like, Toby has his hand in his head, which I think is funny, but, like, Geo, like, looks calm, but if, like, something goes well for Geo, he'll pop off.
I don't know. I mean, if we see a third fake out, maybe.
Geo's like, I mean, Toby's like...
It's not worried. Well, Smeargle switches, so,
funny.
We'll just have to table the Choice Scarf conversation for later. Hariyama back out on the Dragon.
Did you see that? That was so good. Toby, you go back and watch that. He it was pretty good.
Again with the Roost, just perfectly happy to sit there on the field and wait this one out. Tapu Bulu with another bulk up. I've lost track of how many. I think this is like maybe +4, +5. So we could see one more, and then we might start seeing this Tapu Bulu go a little bit more effective.
And it's still not going to 2-hit KO.
Roost does not have unlimited PP, so Bulu
Oh,
will
Ray's talking about
eventually
PP. Oh, wow.
combine with Hariyama be able to
Didn't
take
expect
out Dragonite as long as there's no burn or critical hit or anything like that.
Well, no burns.
To be clear, like, I don't want to see any comments saying, like, wow, Geo played so lame or anything, because, like, this is what he's supposed to do. He could still win this. Smeargle has, like, no health left, and Hariyama doesn't have any healing, so if he gets, like, 2 crits or a burn and a crit, I don't know. Like, if he burns the Bulu, then he can just focus down the partner slot and win on time, because, like, he'll have more recovery than Bulu will. Like, KO, or burn Bulu, ignore it for the rest of the game, because it's not doing any damage. Like, E-Speed Hariyama until it goes down, and then E-Speed Smeargle, and then win the game.
After crits this turn, Dragonite flinched by that fake out. Tapu Bulu going for what I believe is its final bulk up, but don't take my word for that one. I'm sure Tobias is keeping a much closer count.
Yeah, Tobias will know for sure. He'll know what level of attack and defense his Tapu Bulu is at. In fact, if he is unsure, he can even check.
That is one of those cool new features on the Sun and Moon battle screen, which I use all the time. Smeargle back out on the field.
He doesn't want to get crit or burn, so he's
for
protecting.
the Hariyama. Tapu Bulu protecting this turn Dragonite with the Fire Punch. So I believe what Tobias is doing here is maybe switching to keep using Fake Out.
Yep.
He wants to have as few opportunities for Dragonite to get a Fire Punch off onto Tapu Bulu as possible, so I have to imagine he goes for a Spore here onto Dragonite with Smeargle, unless it has some other kind of move. Again, it forces Dragonite to extreme speed, not Fire Punch the Tapu Bulu.
Yep.
That's really all that Tobias is going for here. He doesn't want Tapu Bulu to get crit or burned.
Well, there's that Horn Leech does a nice
he can win this. Now he wins.
to Dragonite, but if Dragonite wanted to, it could easily roost all that damage.
Yeah. Well played by Toby. That's how to not choke a game, I think. Like, even though it wasn't super flashy or anything, it's very well played. He can now go fake out Horn Leech and then Horn Leech close combat and win the game.
Or all that
or
health
knockoff.
back
I think they're both fine.
Hariyama will take the field and will most likely see a fake out here. Yeah, so Tapu Bulu free to get one more Horn Leech. This game just, it's playing itself out.
Yep, it's
Six
just
Tapu Bulu.
one big
a lot.
stall war here. Dragonite just trying to stall out the Tapu Bulu at 6 stages of increased attack here.
Yeah, knock off Horn Leech.
Dragonite
So close.
Almost knocked out, still left hanging on.
Okay,
we know
we
that
did it.
Hariyama
Game
has
3.
Faint,
This
so
is it.
It will be able to move first or
Yeah,
second.
I don't know if that's enough damage, though. I think you have to go for the knockoff and Horn Leech again and just try and whittle it down.
All right, well, that's what we're going to see. Dragonite uses Roost to bring its health back up over half. Horn Leech from that Tapu Bulu connecting with that Dragonite.
There's the critical
there
hit.
it is.
Tobias finally
was a crit.
closed that one.
Wait, was that a crit?
Dragonite
There.
is its health back up over half.
Tobias.
Horn Leech from that Tapu Bulu connecting with that Dragonite.
There's the critical
there
hit.
it is.
Tobias
show.
finally closed that one. And we are going to a game 3.
Okay, here we
All
go.
right, I'm
Let's go.
excited to see these teams during
Get hype.
the preview. I'm excited to figure out the strategy. I think we've gotten a large portion of the strategy behind these teams. You know, both players are equipped to play the stall game, but gotta wonder, is that all they have on their teams? Maybe there's some other interesting text that we might have missed. Well, we're
Don't be so
gonna
funny.
see soon. I mean, team preview bound to go up any second now.
Yeah, especially text to deal with on a fake out. There might be a number of ways to actually deal with.
So you see the teams here
EV
now.
getting
Yeah,
set up.
so this team works, the way that it works is it's a Z conversion, Porygon Z. It turns Porygon Z into electric type, and then with adaptability, Z conversion gives you a +1 in all stats. So basically your team uses like fake out Smeargle and Tapu Bulu and fake out Hariyama, and like to support like one of your sweepers, which is primarily Porygon Z, I think, but obviously last game Toby used Nihilego. It's a very threatening team. Z conversion Porygon Z, +1 special attack, adaptability, electric type boosted, Thunderbolt. Like, it one-shots everything. It was insane. And it was like dual stab, or Thunderbolt Ice Beams, excuse me. It was very strong.
The baton passing. So maybe that's why Geo didn't end up going for that last match, although he still brought the Eevee. But without seeing how the previous 2 matches started, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I agree with Ray.
Eevee teams are just so dependent on those first couple of turns. We'll see if Geo's able to get his Eevee set up and pass to a bigger threat like that Dragonite, because we saw how difficult.
The funny thing to me is that Geo's whole team is built around getting the baton pass off with Eevee. However, like, he didn't do that last game, and he still almost, like, not almost won, but it was still close, you know? One crit or one burn early could have been disastrous.
What it is for Toby to take down the Dragonite. And so if Dragonite's able to get the boost from Eevee,
Toby can't afford to lose Nihilego, or
Tobias
else
is gonna be
yeah,
able to
he'll
take
lose
it out.
probably.
I don't know
or, like,
either.
it'll be hard
Geo
for him to beat
running
Dragonite.
Incineroar, Tapu Koko, Whimsicott, Tapu Fini, Dragonite, and Eevee versus Tobias's team.
This is 2017. He has Incineroar in 2017? Geo's out of his mind.
Arcanine,
That's wild.
Hariyama,
There's no Intimidate on his
Smeargle,
Incineroar.
Porygon Z.
I just saw Incineroar and didn't even think twice, but yeah, no, there's no Intimidate in Incineroar right now.
Tapu Koko and
That's so
the
funny.
Nihilego. There we go. I was trying to remember what that last Pokemon was, but certainly very interesting teams on both sides of the field. I think Porygon Z has seen some recent play at the Japanese National Championships.
Yeah, the team was inspired by Japanese
yeah,
team.
there's so many different sets it can run to. There's Normalium Z with Conversion. There's Normalium Z with Hyper Beam. Two totally different styles. It can go for a Trick Room setup.
that was a very good
like
lead
a
for
Choice
Toby.
Scarf set that just wants to
Holy
knock something
cow.
out really quickly. It's just so tough to go up against without knowing what exactly its moveset or
So
item
Eevee,
is.
even after boosting, won't be able to survive a close combat, I think.
No Porygon Z yet. Smeargle, Hariyama out on Tobias' side of the field. Eevee and Whimsicott out on Geo's side of the field. So there's that Eevee staring down two fake outs.
Yep, some fake out pressure, some spore pressure. There's definitely some ways to shut down Eevee here from Tobias.
Well, Smeargle switching out, no
Interesting switch.
spore pressure yet. Nihilego taking its place out on the field, possibly looking to try and knock out that Whimsicott as we saw in Game 2. Eevee protecting itself from Hariyama's fake out, and Whimsicott now free to move. Goes for the taunt onto the Smeargle, but saved by the fact that Nihilego took its place.
This is a really good spot for Toby. He can just Sludge Bomb close combat and force Geo. Like, Geo can't... He can only play defensive in that position in front of Sludge Bomb close combat. He can't, like, punish it in any way. Eevee can't Evo Boost and survive a close combat. Definitely not a close combat plus a feint. And Nihilego doesn't want to take a Sludge Bomb here, because then it will either die to poison damage if it gets poisoned, or it'll be in feint range.
Yep, so good switch there from Tobias.
If he has Sash, of
probably
course.
knew that Whimsicott did have taunt, so he didn't want his Smeargle, which likely would have gone for a Spore to get taunted, so instead brings out Nihilego, threatening a ton of damage to Eevee and a one-hit KO to Whimsicott. And Hariyama also threatening a KO onto Eevee with some kind of fighting move.
Oh, and speed mechanics don't update mid-turn, so it's not like Geo can Tailwind and then immediately Evo Boost before Nihilego attacks. Like, he'll even take a ton from Nihilego. Eevee's not very bulky.
I bet even after the Evo boost, a close combat might even still knock it out.
That might be what we see play out this turn. Hariyama, close combat knockoff are probably like the two moves it does best other than
Oh,
fake
this is
out.
so good.
And feint too.
I'm so excited
it's
to
a
watch.
pretty good Pokemon, all things considered. Nihilego, we know that it could... Oh! Whimsicott flinging its Razor Fang at the Hariyama. I believe that will eventually flinch that Hariyama. First, Eevee takes a Sludge Bomb from the Nihilego. It gets poisoned, but it's able
Toby pops
to
off.
survive.
Forget what I said about negative
So
versus positive
if Eevee-
pop-offs. Wait, hang on.
So I don't know. It's this poison, the feint.
it's
There's
super
so
gone.
much
It's
going
super
on
gone.
right now. It's what an incredible game.
To feint, of course, that's what I meant.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
barely hangs on, but it's now in feint range. If Eevee was at, what was the HP? I think 24 before the poison tick.
Probably live in feint.
That should have been able to survive a feint.
Yeah, it's a
and
huge
now
poison.
Feint is just going to pick up the KO here. So very unfortunate poison, but Sludge Bomb
Looking
does
kind of
have
rough for Geo. Kind of feel like his back is approaching a wall.
that poison chance, and you know, unfortunate for Geo, but those things happen throughout a long, long tournament.
Yeah, Whimsicott switching out, Dragonite taking its place. Geo not ready to give Nihilego any speed boost from the knockout from Sludge Bomb there. Feint from that Hariyama will knock
I think Toby's
out
apologizing.
Eevee. Nihilego finishing up this turn, again targeting that Whimsicott, now Dragonite with a Sludge Bomb.
Yeah, so thanks to multi-scale, Dragonite takes that very well. But losing Eevee immediately, Geo's in a really, really tough spot here.
Yeah, you would think being able to baton pass maybe into that Dragonite, or maybe even the Incineroar, which is the final Pokemon that Geo has brought to this game, might have been a little bit favorable. But, you know, Incineroar, one of those interesting Pokemon, you don't really see it that often. I think a lot of trainers have been maybe waiting for it to become more relevant in the metagame to...
Commentator's curse.
start bringing it, but it does get access to move like Fake Out. It has, you know, very powerful
That
fire
like
and
feels sick
dark
after
type
hearing
moves. Very interesting typing.
Yeah,
Gabby,
Throw
you did this
Chop
test?
is very nice
Just kidding,
on a
just
type
kidding,
of team that
I like
Gio's
Gabby.
using here because it does stop Roar. So that's one of the big counters
Throw
to
Chop,
EV
interesting.
teams. So
Well, Nihilego switching out, Tapu Bulu taking the field in its place. Tapu Bulu staring down the Incineroar, so Tobias probably feeling confident about, especially given the fact that he made that switch. Whimsicott coming out on the field for that Dragonite. So now it's down to just the Incineroar and the Hariyama. Fake out from the Incineroar into this Hariyama, who can't really catch a break. You know, he was able to get the knockout on the Eevee.
Hariyama's flinched twice. That's a good point.
yeah, Tobias trying to conserve that Nihilego.
The thing about Eevee teams is like they really rely on Eevee getting the attack off, and so losing your Eevee immediately makes the game, like, I wouldn't say impossible, but extremely difficult.
Because a simple power gem with the Life Orb should pick up the knockout onto Dragonite at that HP range, on Incineroar. Whimsicott, of course, Sludge Bomb.
8 minutes left in the round.
You just want to conserve it because Dragonite does have the potential for something like an Earthquake maybe to just knock it out, whereas bringing in Tapu Bulu, that's not going to be the key to winning this matchup against Incineroar and Dragonite, so it's a lot safer.
Yeah, and you know, if Dragonite did have something like that Earthquake,
the
grassy terrain would help weaken the amount of damage. Whimsicott taunting that Tapu Bulu so that we won't see any bulk ups from it this turn. Hariyama finally using that close combat, double targeting the Incineroar with its partner Tapu Bulu. So a great prediction there by Gio.
Yeah, it was a good protect.
Yep. But again, that Incineroar's typing not helping out against double fighting type attacks. Dragonite, you have to imagine, is coming in. And Tapu Bulu, we saw, doesn't do a whole lot of damage to Dragonite. Hariyama doesn't either, but knocking off the leftovers will be helpful. I think you just want to get rid of this Whimsicott if you're Tobias, slowly start picking up KOs, and eventually the Nihilego.
Yeah, if Gio loses one more piece, he'll be in
the rest
really
of
bad
Gio's
shape.
team.
And that's
any
what's
Pokemon,
so great about Nihilego. You know, sometimes it's in situations where your opponent has a counter to it and there's nothing you can really do, but when Nihilego has a chance to shine, it basically blinds the opponent in terms of how much offensive threat it has. Tailwind from that Whimsicott, boosting the speed of Giovanni's Pokemon, and the super power coming out from that Tapu Bulu targeting
that was a really smart double.
Dragonite. Hariyama going for a knockoff, not a close combat. So prediction there by Tobias, getting rid of that leftovers and getting rid
That
of...
was a safe prediction because like either Incineroar takes a superpower or like it takes either Incineroar takes a superpower or Dragonite takes a knockoff, and there wasn't really anything Gio could do about that. Like he's just in a bad shape. Like so now let's take stock of the situation. Gio's done 0 damage. I think literally 0 damage. I think Toby's damaged himself with his own Life Orb. But yeah, the damage that was done to Fake Out on Hariyama is now gone. Whimsicott hasn't done anything. Eevee didn't do anything. Dragonite hasn't done anything. Yeah, no damage has been done. And Gio is down 1 Pokemon. He's got no item on 2 of his Pokemon. And his Dragonite has a ton of damage.
One of Dragonite's ways to recover.
Yep, great prediction there. It would have been overkill going for 2 fighting type moves, especially knowing Dragonite's in the back and going to switch in. So just go for 1 fighting type move and then go for the knockoff. So very standard play there from Tobias, and it definitely paid off.
Whimsicott taunts,
Double
but
taunt.
it fails Dragonite Roost, which is probably one of its favorite moves, given how much it's been using it throughout this match to restore its health. Tapu Bulu with the Horn Leech targeting that Dragonite. We know from the last game won't do a lot of damage unless it's boosted with those bulk ups. And Hariyama with the close combat into the Dragonite. Dragonite able to hold on just a little bit, so has an opportunity to roost again.
If you roost, you lose your flying typing until the end of the turn, so you get terrain effects, such as grassy terrain.
Maybe.
Yeah, that did a lot of damage.
I know, right?
But
that was kind of surprising.
One interesting mechanic there, thanks to Roost, that grounds Dragonite, so it was able to pick up a little bit of healing, so I don't know.
The little healing, by the way, is like important, because otherwise he'd be in faint range.
It would have been enough to pick it up, pick up the KO from where Dragonite was at, but now it definitely won't be able to. So that'll be pretty...
5 minutes left in the
round.
round.
End up being pretty important.
I don't know. At this point, Dragonite seems so content to hang around on the field, you know, with its buddy Whimsicott here, who uses
let's take stock of the situation. Oh, wait to things.
Lower its attack by 2 stages and knock itself out in return. So if there is going to be a feint, which there isn't, that would certainly have allowed Dragonite to survive. Instead, Dragonite moving next, using Roost to restore its health again. Going to be the target of a Horn Leech from that Tapu Bulu, maybe a knockoff, maybe a close combat from the Hariyama, but with its defense is lowered now 2 stages each, and its attack lowered 2 stages each. Probably a great time for Tobias to switch out. Not threatened by the Incineroar that much, still has all of his Pokemon in the back.
So the situation is Dragonite with 52 health, Incineroar at full, versus all of Toby's Pokemon, and Geo's done no damage.
Tobias is just in a great spot.
Yep, and Roost just... You get the benefit there from the grassy terrain of roosting, but then you also take extra damage from the likes of close combat, so...
Great adjustment there by Tobias.
Yep, so Tobias definitely gets to take advantage of that, but with Memento, you're not really doing too much damage with that Hariyama, so... Yeah, now would probably be a good time to switch it out, unless, I mean, close combat might still do a lot of damage to Incineroar, but I think at this point you just switch out Hariyama.
Yeah, it's 4 Pokemon on Tobias' side of the field versus 2 on Giovanni's side of the field. You have the ability to make that switch, because worst case scenario, yes, one of your Pokemon will get knocked out,
it's
but
probably
Hariyama
double fighting
gets to
move
come
into
in completely
Incineroar.
fresh. And that's really what I think you would aim for here, but hey, Tobias is the one playing, not me. Keeps that Hariyama out on the field. Dragonite with a Roost,
it's thick fat.
Incineroar with a Flare Blitz
Oh, burn
into
is
the
huge. It's thick fat
Hariyama.
knockouts.
Gets the burn, which
It's a huge
could
burn.
be interesting depending on what ability this Hariyama has. Superpower from the Tapu Bulu into the Incineroar does not knock it out.
Yeah, I think that's definitely thick fat Hariyama because of that
Ooh.
damage, because remember, its defenses are extremely low thanks to all those close combats, so the fact that it only did
it was not... Wait, what? Was it just us? Wait, what's... I thought it was at 48 health. What's 48 times 4? 48 times 4 is 192. Wait, how much health?
I think that signifies that it
48,
is,
unless he has 192 health, right?
Guts.
Yeah.
Oh! If Geo had max HP, or if he had 1 more point in HP, or if he had 1 less HP point, the berry would have activated. So that's very unfortunate. I knew it should have been activating.
that Hariyama, you know, it's the burn is unfortunate, but its attacks were so
The burn is
lowered.
very
Do
unfortunate.
you think it really made much of a difference?
No, not really.
It does.
You just have to get 1 knockout here. Really, I don't even know if you need any knockouts. Nihilego in the back is just going to clean up, but getting 1 knockout just guarantees the win.
Ooh,
so.
good feint, good feint.
Incineroar, Incineroar protecting, but feint breaking the protect.
Big crits. Okay, that was a really good play, because if Incineroar wants to Flare Blitz the Bulu and take it out, it will get KO'd to recoil. So that's why that was a really smart play.
And getting a critical hit as well. So even though Dragonite's going to roost again here, Tapu Bulu, if it did target that Incineroar with the superpower, which I would believe is what we're going to see given that feint.
Let's take stock, because here's where things get interesting. It's 4 versus 1. Dragonite with no boosts, nothing going for it, against Tapu Bulu at full, Nihilego at maybe almost full, 90%, Smeargle at full, and Hariyama at like half and burned. Geo's lost 3 Pokemon, and all in exchange, the only thing he's done is Flare Blitz Hariyama once and get a burn. Okay, so back against the wall if I've ever seen it.
Will knock out the Incineroar, and just like game 2, it's Dragonite is the last
2.5 minutes on the clock
for Geo against all 4 of Tobias's Pokemon.
Yeah, so that is going to be game. Having 4 against 1, I wouldn't even.
Is that
going to
be game?
Ray,
here. Commentator's Cursey.
No reason to. You're going to win no matter what. No point risking a potential earthquake or something.
Just play it out. Wait for Geo, if he's going to knock out any Pokemon, to knock out your Pokemon, get it in for free, and then Hidden Power Ice, Power Gem.
Yeah, because if time runs out, you win 4 Pokemon for 1. So.
Well, Fire Punch able to knock out that Tapu Bulu in 1 hit thanks to the superpower defense drops. Hariyama with a close combat into the Dragonite.
2 minutes left on the clock.
Damage.
Yep, that's big though, because it takes off multi-scale, so it is still an important 6 damage.
Yeah, it's probably the most important 6 HP of damage we've seen all day today.
Yep, probably.
So Tobias now free to switch in. You think the Nihilego?
Yep,
No,
Nihilego can come in and just Life Orb, Power Gem. Tailwind is already expired, so it can just outspeed and pick up the knockout. But no, we see Smeargle come in.
Play it safe. Spore? Fake out?
Toby should be taking his
Fake out
time
and
here.
Spore?
To be clear, though, the players don't know how much time is left. Toby has no idea that there's only 1 minute left. Wait, they might tell you at 5 minutes. Wait, hang on. He might know they're pretty close.
I mean, the timer is going to run out soon, the round timer, so Tobias, in no rush, doesn't want to go for maybe Dragonite just being
1-1-1.
insanely bulky and
I mean, it's over, right?
shrugging
There's
off
no way.
the Power Gem, so nothing wrong with bringing Smeargle in here, I think.
Hariyama finally switching out, Nihilego taking the field in its place. So Smeargle maybe fake out Spore. Smeargle outspeeding that Dragonite using Spore to put it to sleep. And Tobias now completely free to just relax, play out the last few minutes of this game. And
45 seconds. It's over, right?
Hopefully,
it's over.
Possibly knock out that Dragonite.
Yep, so we'll actually get to see how much Life Orb Power Gem does. I don't know.
He's not max special attack,
for
by
that
the way.
Because I have not.
Because speed boost. If he's max special attack, he can't have speed boost, so he's not max special attack on his Nihilego, even though he's Life Orb.
Faced off against a Dragonite in this format before. But Dragonite is known for being pretty bulky for a Dragon-type Pokemon. It's got pretty high special defense and pretty decent HP, so Power Gem with Life Orb may
20 seconds.
knock it out.
And then there's 3 turns after that. Hidden Power Ice.
Smeargle saving that Spore for later. Nihilego revealing it brought the Hidden Power Ice.
Watch.
It's not a
watch. They're both praying. Wait. Okay. Everyone's sitting down. Let's watch.
Knockout, though. Dragonite living. Oh, and Dragonite wakes up and goes for an Earthquake. Targeting down this Nihilego and this Hariyama. It gets the knockout on Nihilego.
You can hear the crowd.
Knockout on Hariyama after the burn damage. What just happened?
Wow.
Time's up. They get 3 turns.
Turn of events there.
Wow. Dragonite defying all the odds, living the Life Orb Hidden Power Ice from the Nihilego, waking up using Earthquake.
So I think technically there, it might have been better to protect and switch, because that way you can fake out Hidden Power Ice and guaranteed win the game. But yeah, I don't blame him for doing that. But yeah, Toby had a guaranteed win condition there, which is protect and switch. He didn't have to Hidden Power Ice that turn, because even if Geo roost and you fake out Hidden Power Ice and get the second one off, if he stays asleep, you can do the same thing. If he doesn't KO Hariyama, you get fake out pressure, and we know Smeargle's fake out pressure as well.
And Smeargle's only attack is likely fake out, which Dragonite can protect.
Smeargle has
so
transform.
Dragonite actually coming back and pulling this match in Giovanni's favor. I did not see that coming at all. It ended up revealing the Earthquake, which you don't even see that.
Is Smear going to be enough?
And it picks up the knockout onto both Pokemon.
Fake out, but Dragonite survives. Oh my.
Well, it's actually not it, because there's only
protect, so
it depends if there's 2 or 2 or 3 turns left in the game, depending on when they called time.
Fake out. Wow.
I don't know. It's going to come down to this turn. Smeargle going for a second fake out. It fails. Dragonite with the Earthquake going to attack that Smeargle.
Yeah.
Will it do enough for the knockout? Smeargle holds on.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
Unless we're looking at, the end of the round with that timer, if Dragonite has one more attack, which I think it must.
We were. The timer had gone down to 0 just a little bit ago, but
Yeah. I wonder if there's an interview. Ray and Gavi. We don't have to watch the interview. You guys can watch it on your own if you want, but I just wanted to talk about the match. Anyway, it's an insane match. It's one of the craziest comebacks I've ever seen. Dragonite 4v1ing an entire team is just, insane. And, of course, Toby could have played, better, but also, Earthquake probably hadn't been revealed at that point, so he wasn't even thinking about it. I think if Earthquake had been revealed, he would have saved Bulu, because it cuts the power of Earthquake in half. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like he let up, he played so well, and then, let up. He took his foot off the gas just a moment too soon, and then, yeah, Dragonite just kind of went to town. So, it's an amazing match in my opinion. The ending makes, the whole thing so incredible, just because it's a ridiculous storyline, right? Dragonite 1v4 is an entire team. A sleeping Dragonite, even, I don't know, it was against Hidden Power Ice and Nihilego, 2 fake-out users, and, Spore transformed Smeargle. So, it was looking unlikely, to say the least. But yeah, I think this is an amazing match, so I wanted to show it to you guys. Geo moves on. Both players move on, but Gio gets the win. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say about the match. Anyway, yeah, it's cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see more of this. I'm not super planning on doing many more reaction videos, but if you guys really like it, I would definitely consider it. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.